Hi, my name is Kevin Fernandez and welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite social deduction games. Now, a social deduction, let me explain for those of you who don't know. A social deduction game is usually a group of people trying to figure out solve a murder, try to get out of a certain situation. It's really just trying to solve a puzzle. What that puzzle may take, it depends on the game, but it really depends on the game. This is a big span. I'm making sure to include a lot of different types of social deduction games, not just who done it. Sometimes there can be a hidden role in social deduction games. However, I tried to make sure I had as little of those as possible. I do have a top 10s list on hidden role games. Feel free to check that out after this. I'll link it in the video so that way you can click on it. But without further ado, let's count down. Okay, so number 10 is the game Codenames. And I want to point out every single game I list on this I got from Board Game Geek, so just letting you know, this was on their social deduction section. So I have Codenames by Czech Games Edition. I don't know if they're the current publisher still, but I believe they are. If anybody knows if they are still the same publisher, please let me know in the comments below so I can make sure to make adjustments when I make a how to play video for this. But all in all, the game is always the same. No matter what edition you play, you get 2 spy masters. They might be called something different depending on what version you have, and they have to try to find out which one of their agents. Get their team to figure out which agents are theirs. The person who finds all their agents first is the winner of the game. You work together as a team. There's 2 separate spy masters. There's one for blue and one for red. And they give clues, a word clue, which you could say like, so let's say like there's an apple, a banana, and an orange on there for red. And so the red spy master would say, fruit 3, and so they all have to kind of figure that out, what it is. But you can't just say, like apple right there. You can't say that, or you can't say anything that's like close to that. That would be determined by a majority vote and everything. But it's a really fun game. It's a good game. It's a good party game. Really good party game. So if you have a lot of people who want to play a game, but don't want to go through a lot of heavy rules and everything, Codenames is definitely the game for them. So number 10, Codenames. Okay, so number 9 is Hanabi by R&R Games. In this game, once again, you are, unlike Codenames where you're competing teams, you are this is a 100% cooperative game where people are, sorry, I got an itch, where people are trying to make a big fireworks display and you're trying to play them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you can't look at your hand. Other people can look at your hand, but you can't look at your hand. So they have to do it by giving you number and color. So let's say you're building up the reds. So you say like, so I'd say, Jordan, you have a 1 in your hand. And she goes, oh, okay. And then the next turn I'll go, and then someone else will go, hey, Jordan, you have, a red. And she goes, oh, so she plays this to the left. And she plays the 1 to her left. And she just keeps we just keep building up and up and up and up. But the trick is you're timed. The fuse will come eventually to the display and go off. And so once it goes off, So you have to get as many of these fireworks displays completed as possible, and before the timer goes off. It's a really interesting game, relatively quick, and it's a very enjoyable game. I love how they have to figure out where it is in their hand, and they have to remember it, because you got to remember, if they say, oh yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. If they say to your left, it's like, okay, but you gotta see like from what perspective are they looking at that. It's really interesting. So number 9, Hanabi. Okay, so number 8 is Love Letter. The version I have is by AEG, but currently it is by Z-Man Games, and of course that is the one that I'm talking about, is by Z-Man Games, because that's the current one. This one you have to try to get a certain number of tokens of affection from a princess, and you do that by having the highest number card in your hand at the end of the game. You can play like different cards, like a priest, a baron, you can play a courtessa, you can play king, guards, and you have to try to get your opponent, if they have it, to it's kind of like Old Maid, if you've ever played Old Maid, but instead of trying to get everybody to have the Old Maid in their hand, you have to try to have them get rid of the Old Maid, like discard it, because the princess's ability is, if she has been discarded, she forces that person to lose the game. But if she's still in your hand by the time the game's over, then you win, because she's the highest, because she is the highest pointed card in the game. So whoever has her, if they manage to really manipulate their hand very well, they can win every turn, every game. I just recently did a how to play video on it, so of course, naturally, if I have how to play videos on all these, I'll link them to the, I will link them in the video where that is. But yeah, number 8, Love Letter. Okay, so number 7 is Museum Suspects by Blue Orange Games. This game is kind of like Guess Who, but it's a lot more easier to grasp it, because it's they don't have distinctive body parts and stuff like that you can say. It's just really fast and easy to dwindle down. And as the suspect got a green hat, so you fold them all the ones that do have. It's like, no, okay, so all the ones who have a green hat is down. Does yours have a beak? Oh, no, okay, so you put all the birds down. Very simplified, very easy way to play. Very easy game to play. If you like Guess Who, you could do that. They're all animals, though. I want to point that out. Every single character is all animals, so that's kind of perfect for people who have issues with Guess Who, I guess. We all have issues with certain games, whatever. Yeah, this I tried it at Gen Con a long time ago. I enjoyed it. It was fine, but I didn't. I like a lot of other games by Blue Orange. That one just didn't grab me enough to where. Now, if I had kids, that probably would have been a different story. I definitely would have grabbed it. I'm not saying this is a kid's game. It's just I never really got into Guess Who, even when I was a kid. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And so you're probably like, oh, well, why is it on your list then? I still found it was rather enjoyable enough. Not enough where I would think I need to get a copy, but enough where I thought, hey, I would at least like to, I do recommend it to other people. So it's enough where it should get a recommendation. It's not enough where I would be like, whatever. So yeah, number 7, Museum Suspects. Okay, number 6 is Disney Shadow Kingdom. Okay, in this game you get to pick which of the Fab 5 you and your partner would like to play, because this is a cooperative game again. And you have to try to manipulate the cards in front of you so that way you can get all light magic and build up the light magic meter. and get rid of the dark magic, because if the dark magic overtakes it, then you guys lose the game, but if the light magic overtakes it, then you win. It's very simple. Basically, I just explained how to play, but that was a quick overview. There's still a couple more things here and there. It is on our poll that is currently going on right now. It is currently going on still and won't end until the 31st. So if you haven't voted yet, you can go to Facebook, Twitter, or right here on YouTube. There's a link to the 2 social media pages down below. You can check those out, and hopefully Shadow Kingdom might win. Or you can just go, when you're done watching this video, you can just go to our community tab. You can vote. And thank you to everyone who has been voting for different how to play videos and everything. It's really good that I have a lot of great people who get involved with these videos and everything like that, so thank you. So yeah, number 6 is Shadowed Kingdom. Okay, number 5 is Jungle Cruise by Ravensburger. So this game is, you get to play as one of the famous Jungle Cruise boats, and you go through the Jungle Cruise. But the thing is, you have to figure out which family is going to start taking care of the resort and everything. And so they leave little clues along the river where you can check it out. So you could take the long route, see which ones it is, or you could take the short route, get there, and then hopefully you have the family that they picked. The player with the most points at the end of the game wins. You get like these little tokens if you were there first to give you bonus points, and like I said, the player with the most points wins. It's a pretty fun game. It is a very fun game. If you're a big Disney fan, if you like all those like different rides and everything, this does definitely capture the theme and the feel that you get when you are on the Jungle Cruise. It is a very enjoyable game, but this is one of the first few competitive games on this list. I think it's like the only competitive kind of social deduction game on this list. That's one of the reasons why I put it there, because you know, a lot of social deduction games are cooperative. This is one of the few competitive ones that we actually have to do. You can also get bonus points by collecting sets of treasures and everything as well that you can pick up through. There's so many different ways you can get a lot of points. You can rack up points even if you don't have the chosen family members. You can actually still win by how many ways you can get points. It's really fun, really great. Highly recommend it. Number 5, Jungle Cruise. Okay, so number 4 is Paint the Roses. Now, this game is based off of, of course, the famous scene from Alice in Wonderland where she finds the playing card guards painting roses because they accidentally planted the white roses by mistake, and so they're quickly taking a bucket of red paint and painting those roses red, so that way and hopefully the queen doesn't notice that the roses are dripping paint. But in this game, unlike that, there are actually multiple different colors of roses. There's like pink, there's purple, there's still red, but there's so many different combinations that you have to work with it to guess what these cards are, to match it up and make sure you have the right pairs and everything. So, your opponent has to figure out what cards you're trying to go for, and if they guess correctly, then you get the points for those cards and you move along the scoring track. But the Queen of Hearts is chasing after you, and if she catches up to you, you lose the game. She gets faster the further down the track she goes. So instead of moving like, I think she starts off with moving 1 space per, then it's 2 spaces, then it's 3 spaces. She gets faster and faster, and if she catches up to you, it's game over. Now, thus far, I have not really been able to win this game. It's pretty challenging. Online on Board Game Arena, I managed to almost win the game with this with another player, we did a pretty good job, and we barely communicated with each other at all. It was pretty cool. When you get a partner on the game that you just click with, you gotta just click. We managed to get through hard cards. By the way, the cards are split into 3 different categories. There's easy, medium, and hard. Easy is just like colors, I believe. Medium is colors or shapes, and then hard is colors and shapes. It's a really fun game. I do like it, and you know, it's something by North Star Games other than kind of like the evolution thing. Not that I hate evolution. I love it. I love evolution. I love oceans. I love all the expansions for evolution. I hope there's an expansion that explores a little bit more with oceans. Don't know what that would entail, but yeah, number 4, Paint the Roses. Okay, so number 3 is Mysterium by Libellude. The reason why this one, it was not on my hidden rolls, because this doesn't have a hidden roll. I have Obscurio for that. I think I include like either Dixit, Obscurio, or Mysterium on a list every time. Because these games are fun. The artwork is beautiful. It's an enjoyable game. In this game, it's kind of a lot like Clue. You have to figure out, you know, each player has like a murderer, a location, and a weapon. So instead of like it's Colonel Mustard in the pool hall in the billiard room with the lead pipe, you know, it's like, you know, I got the chef in the pool room with like the razor, the shaving razor, and you know, and then once everybody figures out like who their murderer, location, and weapon is, then you put them all out on the table, and you all have to work together on who's the true murderer, and only the ghost knows who the true murderer is. There is a ghost player, and they are silent. A lot of people do forget that, including myself, Jordan, and my dad, who we play this game pretty frequently. It's easy to forget. But this game is really fun. It's really enjoyable. I do have a how to play video on this game. If you guys are curious about it, once this is done, you can check it out. It's a fun game. If you like Dixit, that's pretty good. But if you like beautiful artwork, yeah, you gotta check this out. Yeah, number 3, Mysterium. Okay, so number 2 is Council of Verona. Now this one you're kind of on your own. There's no teams. This is the second competitive social deduction game on this list. So it's Jungle Cruise and this. In this game you guys are competing to try to get the most points, and you get the most points by bidding on who's going to accomplish their goals and who's not going to accomplish their goals. So like, you know, Montagues, you need Lord Montague, you need to have more Montagues in court than Capulets. Capulets, it's the reverse. You need to have more Capulets than Montagues. Romeo and Juliet, they don't care. They just want to be together. And so you have to really try to manipulate what's going on in court. So you go court, exile, and whoever then you place these bidding tokens on how likely do you think these are going to be accomplished, and whoever has the most points wins the game. This is a really fun game. It's very enjoyable. I have this game. I got it for Jordan for like, I think Valentine's Day, and very appropriate. The version I have also has an expansion in it, where you can kind of poison characters, take them out of stuff. Very Shakespeare. But it's very enjoyable. I think the artwork is very unique. Looks very Renaissance, which is very fitting because, you know, it's a Renaissance play. You know, if you like games that have a little bit of a bidding thing, you don't bid on money. It's like, how likely is this going to happen? And then, but it's like, you know, it's like you actually have more power to make it happen than like if you were playing poker. So if you like playing poker, you don't really have that much power in choosing what the cards are going to do. This one you do get a lot more power. There's cards where you can have abilities that you can rescue people from exile, or put people into exile. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of give and take, a lot of push and pull. It's really great. Number 2, Council of Verona. Okay, so number 1 is Campy Creatures. I want to point out though, I have played Campy Creatures. I played it about like 5 years ago though, since I wrote this list. It's still a good game. I still enjoy it. I still like it. However, I know I usually give kind of a brief overview on how each of these games go. I kind of vaguely remember Campy Creatures because I played it at a game night with my local gaming group. It was actually the last game night I believe we did before the shutdown. So, please forgive me if my memory is a little hazy, a little foggy about this. I still do love this game, okay? Don't get me wrong. I still love it. I still recommend it. It's really fun. And it's got a lot of cool classic monsters. So in this game, you guys are all competing, and I believe it's to just be the last person standing. And you get to use different monster powers, like Creature of the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein. All these really cool monsters. They also have like Cthulhu and all that stuff, because why not? It's really, really enjoyable. There's a lot of, but here's the thing. Some of them say, it's not just, I'm going to play this card on that person. No, it's like, play this card, the person two spaces down to your left has to discard like 2 cards from their hand. Play this card, the person sitting right across from you has to discard like half their hand. You play this card, and 2 people, and like every other person from your right has to discard a card. It's really interesting, really fun, really enjoyable. I like how everybody has the same cards in their hand. It's like no secret. You could just sit there like with your hand like this, and I don't think it'll make a difference, but it does help you to know who has what. You could keep track of it though very easily if you remember everything like that. It's still a very enjoyable game. I am hoping to get a copy of it myself, so that way I can have a better understanding about it. But yeah, number 1, Campy Creatures. Well, there you go. There's my top 10 favorite social deduction games. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to be notified for top 10s lists just like this. What are your favorite top 10 social deduction games? I'd love to know. Please leave them in the comments below, and feel free to share with all of us. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. It's very enjoyable. If you're a big fan of the channel as a whole, consider becoming a Patreon supporter on our Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, where you can unlock special access to early access to how to play videos, just like some of the ones where I feature games where I feature on this list. Of course, be on the lookout for our next top 10s list. I also want to thank a lot of my Patreon supporters right now who are supporting me. Your donations mean a lot and help us do what we do. Thank you very much. Be on the lookout now you can be on the lookout for our next top 10s list. But until then, thanks for the views.